Hi, hello, and welcome to Quantum Healing Hands Tarot. Today is a message from your future self 6 months from now. I wanted to help give you some guidance from here to now of just what you needed to know, and there's nobody better to help us than ourselves from the future. So if you are totally ready just by looking at the piles you can pick, and the timestamps are down below in the description box. If you need a little bit more help, let's get started. Okay, so for starters, we're going to take 3 deep breaths. Okay, let's start. All right, now that we're nice and relaxed, we can go ahead and pick from these piles. So we got piles 1, 2, 3. They all have a pendulum on them. This one is a opal. It has a little angel gem attached to it. And then the dolphin gem, there's a rune on the back for you. And then this one I think is, I want to say aventurine. Let me know if I'm wrong. Could be jade. I don't think so though. And a little bunny who plays tennis. And then in pile 3 we have the amethyst and an angel wing. So yeah, if you can pick either from any of the things that you like, from what pile looks best, what color looks best. But those can kind of be misleading for me. So I always go with my intuition. So I close my eyes and I ask my higher self to show me the number of which pile I should pick. And generally I will see a very bold, prominent number as if I had been like staring at a light and I closed my eyes and that image is still there. So, and they do change from time to time, so I trust it. It has never failed me yet. So that's what I do. So if you need any more time, just go ahead and pause the video. But we got some good cards here today to give you this reading. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi, Pile 1. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so grateful that you are letting me channel this energy for you. Your future self has a message from 6 months from now. So I felt like that was a good enough time frame to like actually give a manageable message. And so, in that way, 6 months is a good enough time to see where you're going, but also change the trajectory if you don't like it. So let's go ahead and get started. All right. So for starters, you chose the opal pendulum. This one, I put an extra charm on it. It says made for an angel. Just thought this one felt extra special. At the end of the reading, I'll let you ask a yes or no question, and we can ask the pendulum what that is. But I want to wait till the end of the reading after you've heard everything and a question will kind of formulate. So, but I just wanted to note that you definitely are someone with tons of angels and spirit guides. Like, you don't walk alone at all, ever. You have so many. I heard thousands. So I just feel like you've probably lived a lot of lives and you've made a lot of impact on people. So you got a lot of angels watching you. You're kind of like in today's day, how we have like social media and people with a lot of followers. I'm hearing that like their angel in the angel realm, it's kind of like that too, but to us. Like they have their own favorites. They have their own humans that they really like what they do and weren't necessarily assigned to them at all, and just was like, hey, I like that human. I like that human. I like their message and I want to support them. And so that's cool. I've never heard that before, but that's what I'm feeling of, you know, angels can have favorite humans too. And I have a feeling that a lot of angels really, really appreciate you. So you're definitely somebody who has been saved from the hands of death many times, because you have a purpose here and they're here to help you get there. Opal is absolutely one of my favorites. I'm just sitting here looking at all the different colors on the inside. So I honestly didn't think that this was a real stone for the longest time, because it was, in my opinion, too beautiful. But this really does exist in nature. You can grow it too. It is also one that you can grow. So let's go ahead and get started. Made for an angel. That's you. So I asked your future self 6 months from now. Well, your future self, I want to know about the next 6 months, not just your future self in 6 months. But I wanted to know, what is the general theme to the next 6 months? Like, is it love, career, spiritual growth? Like, so I was going to originally just pull a card, but no one got cards with runes. So I decided to pull runes, which I thought was nice and will probably round it out really nicely. So Ragnarok, which is, I believe, I think Ragnarok is like the Christians' version of the apocalypse, but it's not as like fatal. So it's just more of, I think they say like an end of a cycle. So, you know, the planet goes through many, many cycles. And so I think that's what this is kind of more representing. Ragnarok. Something is coming to an end, only to have something new take its place. We are all subject to the cycle of birth, life, death, and rebirth. With death comes an opportunity to start afresh. No matter how difficult the situation, it is not the end of the world. I love that. All right. The wolf. Open-mouthed and wild. Swallows the sun and the moon. The gods turn and die. Everything sinks. It is gone, we think. It is dead, we know. And yet life rises. The seeds sprout and light floods the land again. I really like this one because this is not about the end of the world. It's saying just how very much the cycle of the sun goes down and it comes back up. The moon becomes completely illuminated and then disappears. You know, flowers bloom and eventually everything dies off. Like, there are these cycles in life that can make symbolically us think everything's over. How can it not? This huge event happened, and it feels like sometimes these events happen to us and they're so big and impactful that we don't even know how to move forward because it was so impactful. I just see that definitely you have come upon an event that is definitely shaking your world right now. just as much as the difference between when the sun's in the sky and then it's gone and it's dark. Like, that's how different your life is right now. And you definitely may be feeling like the sun's never going to come back up. But we all know it does. So, I want to know about your rune. I think that'll give us a little bit more answers. It's number 8. Oh, okay. Wonjo. Oh, Wonjo. So, seek joy actively. It is the most important aspect of your life right now. Loyalty in tough times. Working for and with the community is a positive move. Long-held wishes can come true now when you accept support and input from others. The bell of the new rings out, ringing in my happiness, calling in the balance, signaling my friends, singing in the halls. I am grateful. I am Wonjo. So Wonjo is a rune about celebration and just life and joy, because life in, in where the Scandinavia, Nordic area, it's cold and life was very harsh. So they took their time to really appreciate it and celebrate it, because it was, not everybody got to live. Things happened. And so when things were going good, they celebrated. That's what I was also thinking when I saw that it was the dolphin. So this is all about play. And maybe this cycle that's coming to an end is simply just the cycle of not having fun. Maybe you've just kind of been in this lull of life. Like I said, the difference between night and day. So your life has kind of been in this night mode where it's been dark and you can't see anything, and you almost, it's been such a long night that you have almost forgotten what the daytime feels like. I got distracted. I'm so sorry. I see that this is kind of just a cycle of sadness. This isn't anything bigger than that. Yeah, like it said, this card does not represent the end of times. I think I misspoke and said it's equivalent to, but nothing in Viking culture and Christian culture are too far off, nor much alike. Meaning, we see a lot of the same sort of structures in the religions, but the Christian idea of the end of times is very like scary, and in Viking culture it is much more like, hey, it happens, it's okay, we just have to celebrate. And so something also that came to me was I literally got like a tickle in my throat in a very like interesting way, which made me think, I was like, oh, I wonder if this person is a singer, a speaker, an actor, something where you use your voice regularly. And I'm kind of, it's that feeling of like, your period of being quiet is over. You're gonna start speaking your mind more clearly. And yeah, okay. I don't want to go too far with this. I'm sure this has been like a solid 10 minutes of just intro, and I have way more questions. So the general theme over the next 6 months for you is simply the cycle of no more sadness is over. The cycle of night is over. It's coming to an end. All right, so the next question I asked is, what is some unexpected good luck arriving in the next 6 months? We all love good luck, am I right? So I think some unexpected good luck you have coming in is an idea for a new opportunity. I think as this cycle is ending, you are feeling very open to answers of what to do and where to go. And I believe that in the next 6 months, it's going to come to you like an aha moment. Aha. And I think the good luck is, like, I heard someone say, it was Adam Ivy, if you know who he is, and he was saying that luck is 100% a part of our success in life. It is. But he said luck is the overflowing water in the bucket of hard work that you filled up. So good luck comes when you have been working towards it, putting effort in. And then all of a sudden you get this windfall of opportunity and ideas, and people will come into your life because you've created so much energy, pathways towards yourself in what you're doing. So I really feel like you're going to get this idea and it's going to really inspire you to move forward, and you're going to have that youthful feeling, and you're going to be aware of where you're leaping. I have a feeling that this isn't your first rodeo. This is not the first time you're going after something. You've attempted stuff many, many times for a long time. So this isn't going to be like your first go. You've made the mistakes. You've already, it's like literally if there was a little valley that you had to jump over. Sometimes you have to jump a few times to know how fast you have to run, how high you have to jump, how far you have to push your body forward when doing that. So sometimes you're going to make mistakes, and, I have a feeling you've been practicing on smaller valleys for a long time, and you're coming up on a new big valley that you're like, whoa, now that's a jump I haven't made yet. Like, it's impressive what you can do if you put your mind to it. Like right now I'm getting the vision. There's this girl, I know many people do, but there's this one individual who I've seen on social media, and she slacklines. And like, I used to just see her like, I think just like she's really like athletic and fun with it. Like she like bounces on it and flips and spins, and it's really technical and athletic. But she will slackline across huge valleys, and it's nauseating and terrifying. But how far? But she didn't do that on her first go. She practiced on the ground. She practiced literally like on sand. I think I saw her like doing it at the beach a lot. And so you work your way up to that. And so, somebody might look at that who's never done it and go, how is that? That's impossible. But it's not. It's not impossible. I watched her do a video explaining literally how like they have to screw into the rock, or if they're lucky, the rock will already have a bolt, which to me, that I can't trust that, but that's not for me to do. But they connect it to one rock, and they literally have to hike down the valley with all the rope, and go to the other side. So it's beautifully impressive that you can do these amazing things that look almost magical and wonderful, but it's just a step-by-step thing. So I'm hearing the phrase of, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. And you're starting that first step. Yeah, and I just the next 6 months, you're just gonna have a much more joyful energy. Like, you're gonna be celebrating what you're overcoming. This darkness, this sadness, this not being able to look forward towards the future. Like, you're gonna have this good luck of an idea or a person. Page can represent a person coming in very often. And so you have this very youthful energy coming in. I'm really excited for you, and I kind of want to find out a little bit more. I wanted to know what is a challenge coming to you in the next 6 months, because these are all good things. But what's a challenge? Nothing quite makes us grow like a challenge. What is the challenge in the next 6 months? This is the first time I've ever pulled that card. So I don't think it's hard to see with our eyes the evident struggles we have here in front of us. But I really appreciate the extremely clear and straightforward message here. So I think this time period that you're coming out of is actually all about your mental block and how you have been holding yourself back because you've kind of lost touch with your inner willpower, your strength. You've just been kind of reacting very raw to life. And it's kind of time to figure out what is holding you back from experiencing the joy of the Fool. Because you're going to be having this beautiful opportunity coming in. And I hear it now. It's not the opportunity. It's the way you're thinking about it. It's the way you think about yourself. This is kind of a self-esteem reading. This is kind of about you waking up from this nightmare. I feel like you've been kind of in a dark place where you have been feeling just really not good about yourself. And just how I was saying with this big journey, like, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Know that the journey to self-destruction begins with one negative thought. Because that one negative thought, if you allow it and let it be there and say, welcome, come on in, you're letting them all in. It's like a house party where you didn't invite somebody and then they invite their friends and all of a sudden it is not your house party anymore. It is their party. That's your emotions and negative thinking. Like you have to be discreet, even about your thinking. I really see in the next 6 months, this is going to be what you're overcoming. This is going to be because even though this could represent like actual addiction and things like that, I'm not getting that energy. This is, with these two together, this is about how you feel about yourself. This is your inner voice. And it is really important to be aware of this because you have such an amazing opportunity coming in. The time of like darkness is over. Like, have you ever been out at night with no moon and no light and tried to see? Like, darkness is dark. I know I always come up with these fantastic analogies. I'm just saying, know that you are right in that moment as the sun is cracking the sky. Like, look up. The sky's beginning to change colors. The blue is starting to trickle in. But it's really important to find what is going to make you feel good inside again. Like, it takes work to undo negative thinking. I talk about the book, the author Joe Dispenza, Dr. Joe Dispenza. He writes a lot about how we can change our reality if we change our thinking. And that's what this is definitely falling in lines with. Like, you have so much more control over your life than I think you know. I think it's kind of time to just wake up to how you're talking to yourself, because that's the challenge here. But I wanted to know also how to make the best of the next 6 months. How do we make the best of the next 6 months? All right. It takes me a minute sometimes to get them all like lined up so I'm not touching them constantly. All right. So as we see, you have some great opportunities coming up ahead. So what is the way to make the best out of the next 6 months is plan. Write down the next 6 months. This is a timeless reading, so this isn't like from when I posted it. So write down the next 6 months, and in each month, make little goals. Make little goals and make big goals. And with those big goals, you're going to break those things down into smaller goals, because that's how you're able to get this started. When this new idea comes to you, maybe it already has. Maybe it already has, and you have been talking yourself out of it because you think a lot of negative things about yourself. And I have a feeling that's not how you always were. Like, I have a feeling when you were a teenager, you definitely spoke more positively about yourself. I think life is just hard. Society is rough. And I kind of think you just got taken down with it. But the sun's coming up. So it's important during this time to have not just planning, but clear thinking about it. This is actually a card of like no emotions. This is about like house rules. Like, you gotta be firm with yourself. You gotta be able to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, where do I want to be? Who do I want to be? Am I taking those steps? Have I been taking the steps but then talking myself out of it or not putting full effort in? I feel like there's so much more emotional stuff going on here. Like, this as your challenge speaks so loud and clear to me that you have been holding yourself back. And remember at the beginning when I was saying you have so many angels? Like, you are famous in the spirit realm. And I feel like you even hearing that is maybe hard for you to like believe. But the angels have a different sort of interest also. Like, they aren't watching reality TV to watch the drama. They're watching humans to watch them grow. They care about your character arc. They care about your growth. And so everyone is watching you right now and cheering you on. So why am I'm feeling, it's like in the Truman Show. That's a good way to put it. When Truman starts figuring everything out, the audience is actually like wanting that for him. So it's that sort of interesting concept that, except for that was that's actually probably a pretty good connection to all of this. So I wonder how that movie relates to your life or how you feel about it. If you've never seen it, whoa, like, you've probably heard about it. It's worth seeing. It's making me emotional because it's such a powerful movie. So you have people cheering you on right now while you're waking up to this reality. I feel like you've been putting all the puzzle pieces together and you're just like, I need to stop being afraid. I need to stop fearing the future. I just did a inner teenage reading, and it was one of the most powerful readings I've done. So I'm gonna put it in a card right here. So if you wanna do this reading specifically, I feel like this would be really helpful towards what's going on right now. Because it just kind of holds that energy of just, I feel like there's a part of you, like your inner teenager, which is really hurt, and that's and hurt because you're hurt, sad because you're sad. I think you thought you were going to be a lot more positive and like healthy and far along in your life right now. And so that could very well be why you're having this sort of reaction to life. Like, I just feel like you haven't been feeling your best. And so I think it's kind of time to make a plan with some clear thinking of what you want the next 6 months to look like. And stop talking negatively to yourself. Just every time you catch yourself saying something bad, literally just say, I don't mean that, and replace it with something positive. It's a muscle you kind of have to flex and train. So, but you don't have these fans on the other side for no reason, because they can see things way more in depth than we can as humans. So they are like, they see you and admire you for who you are in all the things that you think are good and bad. Start understanding that you are a beautiful soul with so much to offer. But what I'm hearing is your purpose here in life isn't to actually, it's not to save the world. Your purpose in this life is to get to know yourself. And if that's hard for you to believe, then I believe it even more so. Because when every soul heals, it creates a healing ripple effect into all the multiverses. Each time a soul is healed and goes through its journey and progresses, it helps. That's what helps the world. So don't be thinking globally, think locally. You know, I feel like you've been kind of like holding yourself back of like, well, what's the point of doing this? How is this helping? And it's like, you being happy is what's helping. That's what matters. You're coming to this end time of darkness, or maybe you haven't been having fun because you don't feel like you're fun anymore. But I'm here to tell you, you are. You're going to get some new idea that's going to really like kind of bring you back to that feeling of like, oh, right, life. Like, this is definitely more of a soul journey kind of theme. Like, this isn't about love or career. This is about you figuring out what brings you joy. Because when you have joy, true like happiness in your soul, you are a better participant on planet Earth. So I think we're getting good information. This is a beautiful journey you're on right now. So the last question I have is, what am I walking away from in the next 6 months? So what are you walking away from? In the next 6 months, you're going to be walking away from the energy that has been causing you this mental confusion. I have a feeling you yourself don't even know what to do. I feel like one day you're like, oh, I need to work out every day. That's going to be my answer. And then the next day you're like, maybe I need to start doing art. I think that's maybe my answer. And then the next day you're like, maybe I need to start a business. I think that's my answer. And I think you're kind of trying to figure out what your answer is to moving forward in life, to stop feeling so crappy. And I kind of see it being, this is the 5 of Wands, which is, conflict, tension, competition, training. But the energy I'm getting is that you have different opinion. This card is telling me that you have a bunch of different opinions coming in from all different angles. Everyone's telling you to do something different. And you're kind of just wanting to know what's the right one. So the truth is you're figuring out which one feels most right. It may not be 100% the right choice for you, but you need to find what's going to make you feel best. Like, write out a few different options and really reflect on each one. So there's this what would you describe it? There's a method, there's the word, where people will set up a camera and film themselves in high speed, and they will record themselves talking about like 3 different jobs or 3 different people they like, or in your case, 3 different options to pursue. And you talk about each one in a different, you record 3 different videos, and you go back and you watch it. And you should be able to see through your body language, through the expressions on your face, how enthusiastic you are of what's the best choice for you. And I always thought that was so brilliant. I don't think I've ever really used it for myself, but I always think it's a really, really intelligent way of almost like using psychology on yourself to figure out what you actually want. So, what was it? Both the King of Swords and this is talking about researching. Like, you need, before just making a decision on something, I really feel like you need to research something pretty closely. And so I'm going to mention Dr. Joe Dispenza just one last time, because he has so many different books. And at least maybe if you look in that direction, it'll take you to a different person. There are so many different books you can pick up that will really help you kind of get out of your head and rewire your thinking. And reading is so important because it stimulates your mind in a specific way. The way our brains are wired with language and not through, and our brain oddly knows when it is looking at a technical device and when it's looking at like a physical piece of paper. Like our brains absorb the information differently. So I definitely get the energy of like pick up a book and just kind of start figuring out what you want the next 6 months to look like. Like if you could be a totally different person in 6 months, what would that look like? Because that's what's so cool about 6 months is that is so much time to change. You can completely change your life, your body, your health, your situation in 6 months. It's possible. It takes focus. It takes not being hyper emotional. And because I have a feeling it's just been the wrong emotions. I feel like your emotions have been programmed incorrectly. The way we were raised isn't always the healthiest. So it's kind of up to us to reparent ourselves and ask ourselves who we want to be, because that helps us when we're making those decisions. The next 6 months is all about this soul-searching journey of where you're going next in life. Like to get the Fool is so representative of a new life journey. Not just like, ooh, a new relationship. Like this is kind of like a whole new start over. And so getting Ragnarok is like even more solidifying that this is your day and age of feeling bad about yourself. I feel is done. Commit to the next 6 months of feeling your best. Journal every day of what you love about yourself. Put in extra effort into doing things that you love, into dressing in ways that make you feel better. When I wear sweatpants too much, I don't feel my best. So I like making sure I wear, my uncomfy pants like jeans. Ugh. And I try to make sure I get dressed in regular clothes. So when I get in my comfortable clothes, I feel, it feels good. Like, relax. When you're too relaxed, that's called atrophy. We have to use our muscles regularly. So I feel like you're just going to have to kind of start getting used to what it feels like to talk positively to yourself. I mean, the internet has an abundance of people to help you feel better about yourself, to show you what confidence looks like. Now, don't believe everything you see on the internet. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying look to it for a guide of like, you need to find what is true to you. This whole message is what is true to you. I have a feeling you've had so many like family or friends who've kind of been like, this is what you need to do. You need to do your hair. That's going to make you feel better. Oh, you need to go on a vacation. That's what's going to make you feel better. You need to dump that boyfriend of yours. Like everyone wants to tell you what to do. And I don't think anybody else knows what's going to work for you except for you. I just had this vision of you going on a hike, probably not alone. I don't think hiking alone is ever safe, but some people do it. But I just saw you sitting, or, I saw it more from your eyes, but sitting on a mountainside after a hike in that silence where there's no cars, you're just hearing nature, and you've hiked there, so you have exerted a lot of energy, so your blood is flowing, your mind is thinking, and I think that's where you need to go and kind of see what ideas come to you there, what ideas pop up and sprinkle down from the heavens, because you'll be so close up in the mountains and the clouds. So pay attention to the message from your angels. They are sitting back and watching you with love and protection. You are so divinely protected. It's unbelievable. Like I said, you have thousands of angels who look out for you. And I think that's pretty cool. You're going to be inspired to start over. You're going to wake up one day and be like, I don't know why I haven't been feeling my best, but today I am done. I mean, look how cute she is with her little fishnet stockings and her little dress. I know it's the devil, but I love that because the devil represents, this card represents our own limitations on ourselves. What's funny is, just last note, I don't know if this has anything to do with you. I'm curious if you are if you are a polyamorous person, because the individuals are supposed to represent the lovers, because the devil broken down 15 is 6 is the lovers. So it's supposed to be kind of representing that and our choices in life. And so I had a thought came into my head when I put that down. I was like, there's 3 of them. So I'm curious if that is an aspect to your life that you've been kind of reflecting on, is how you want to approach relationships in this world. So the first and most important relationship you should be concerned with is with yourself. But hey, if you got more love to give and you can manage it, more power to you. But that was just a little note I wanted to add in. And let's get your yes or no question. So go ahead and think of your question. And spirit guides for pile 1. What is their answer? Is it yes or no? It is swirling in a circle, which means yes. Okay. So, the answer I was getting there was yes. It wasn't like a super loud yes, but it was a clear, yes. So, angels, spirit guides for pile 1, thank you for being here. And pile 1, thank you so much for being here. This was quite an in-depth reading, but I really hope you got some good insight from your future self. And I really hope I was able to provide that for you. So Thank you so much for being here today. If you liked this message, there's a little thumbs up button you can click. That really helps me know that the message was resonated with you. And if you loved it, I would love for you to subscribe and be a part of my channel as I continue on this tarot journey. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great day. Bye. Hi, Pile 2. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm really excited to bring you this message from your future self about the next 6 months. So I felt like that was a really good time period frame to look at and kind of get reasonable advice. So you chose the green pendulum. I think I was struggling with whether it's jade or aventurine, but green is always about, the heart chakra and good luck and just love, abundance, goodness. So at the end of the reading, we will do a yes or no question. And so let's see what your first cards are. So first, I wanted to know what the general theme, to the next 6 months was. Time is precious. Be grateful for each passing minute. Using time well is a virtue. Be mindful of how you use your time, which may mean doing very little, if that is of benefit. A circle within a circle. The whirling wheel. By 9 times 3, I measure my life. I gather my magic. I shine my light, waiting for Fenrir to open his jaws. So before I even look at the rune, Manny represents the moon. So Norse traditions, they calculated time by the moon, not the sun. So they went in the 28-day cycle. And so they were very in tune with that. And I have a feeling over the next 6 months, each moon cycle is going to be very significant. Each moon cycle will work very well as a time period to work within. So, yeah, it's Fehu is the first one. So Fehu is the first one. Let me read you about that. The skills you have within you are your greatest treasure. They will never be stolen. Pay attention to the way you view the links between personal power and wealth. Prosperity needs to be developed over time and then shared. I am the way to wealth, the power of having and moving, the freedom of having enough. With more to come, I carry my treasure. Within me is all. I am Fehu. So I am getting this energy that over the next 6 months, you're going to be training for something very, you're going to be training for something. I wanted to say physical, but it's going to be different for everybody. I'm particular feeling like it's a sport thing because of the little bunny and the tennis racket. But Fehu is all about the skills that we possess already. And so I'm getting the energy that over the next 6 months, you're just going to be really focusing on training your skills and kind of making them better. And like I said, I think going with the cycles of the moon is going to be really smart. Kind of use that moon magic, like every new moon, write down your intentions for the next 28 days and see how you can take those steps to manifesting that. And giving yourself that time frame is going to be really helpful with structure and not being too overwhelmed. So I think yeah, over the next 6 months, you're just kind of training for something. So trying to think of what else it could be if it's not necessarily like physical or sports. Well, we can look into that more. But this is the theme. So the theme is that you're training for something, you're working on something, you're getting better at something, and the suggestion is to kind of go with the cycles of the moon as a good time frame. That's a good timeline. Oh, mighty. Okay, you got plenty of cards. I asked, what is some unexpected good luck arriving in the next 6 months? All right. Got a lot of good luck, so that's good. Okay, let's go over them one at a time. I feel like you are going to be very well balanced over this next 6 months, especially if you are dividing and planning up what you're doing month by month. Like really like breaking it down, and because you are leaping towards a huge goal right now, and it's kind of about being flexible, and that's why it's a good idea to go on these 28-day cycles, because it's a small enough period for you to manage, and if something doesn't work and you need to kind of adjust your plans, that's a small enough time period for you to adjust accordingly. I feel like whatever it is you've been kind of contemplating between, like maybe you've been kind of trying to figure out where to invest your energies. I see that you're going to figure that out through the planning and through you're going to be able to make a decision on what it is you're wanting to do. I feel like you've been kind of trying to work towards clarity of what you want to do. And the Ace of Feathers being reversed is saying that you've had mental clarity. Or sorry, you haven't had mental clarity. You've been very kind of overwhelmed. And so, you know, if you're training for something really big like a sport, like that is overwhelming. If you're training to just get better at anything, that can be extremely overwhelming. So that's why it's best to just break things down just into tiny tasks. So I think you're going to finally figure out the new approach that you need. I think you've been kind of making choices that weren't producing the results you wanted. But in the next 6 months, that's going to clear up really, really well. You're going to know exactly what choices to make and where you want to go in regards to whatever this thing you're trying to improve on. Now, this is definitely in the material realm. So this is definitely more towards career rather than love or spiritual growth. So, but it doesn't have to be money. So it's just whatever you're investing yourself in and your time in here on Earth. So the Queen of Acorns is the Queen of Wands, which is a very warm, just a warm card. It's such a, what is the description I'm trying to say? Is she gives you she gives self-confidence and security. I feel like she is the Queen of Acorns, is standing behind you right now during this next 6-month period of you're getting that drive to do this thing that you do so well. And so I think you're finally going to start feeling a little bit more creative. Like, I feel like whatever you're doing isn't necessarily an artistic adventure. This is business maybe. But I really see you like nailing this down and getting it. Like, in the next 6 months, you are going to, through these cycles, through planning and through that clear vision, things are going to really develop nicely. And so whatever conflict you have been having is going to work itself out. Like, whatever issue is really causing the sort of kind of confusion I feel like you've had towards your direction forward. I really feel like you maybe haven't broken things down enough like this with a 6-month goal and breaking it down month by month, week by week in these moon cycles. I feel like you maybe have always kind of been like a 5-year plan person, and a whole like, oh, in a year from now, this is where I want to be. And then a year goes by and you're like, how did I not do exactly what I wanted to do? And it's like, because those who fail to plan to fail. So I think you're really figuring out planning. And so, like, don't buy a planner or anything. I think that's just people trying to take your money. You can open up a blank notebook and structure it the way that's going to work best for you. Use Pinterest. Like, go online and look at other layouts. But speaking from experience, nothing's going to work better than what is going to be your style of working and studying and training. Like, I think if you break these things down, it'll add up really quickly over time. So in the next 6 months, the good luck that is coming to you is, I feel like you're going to really start seeing how agile you are and how quickly you can react to life. I feel like you've kind of been feeling mentally fuzzy, and this is honestly in part because of a lot of planetary alignments. So those are kind of working themselves out. The shaman in reverse. So yeah, like if you haven't known what to do, kind of don't do anything at all. So that's why it's like, slow down, be okay with planning and resetting. So next I wanted to know, what is the challenge that is coming in the next 6 months? So the Death card is just talking about a lot of unhealthy habits and kind of needing to move on from them. I think there's kind of been a way you've been going about things that hasn't been healthy. Like, I see a lot of burnout. Like I was saying, how I don't feel like you've been breaking down your plans small enough. And so let's say, you know, by like there's a certain time every year, like Halloween is coming to me because of this card. So it's like maybe every Halloween you're kind of like, how is Halloween here again already? And I didn't do the things I wanted to do. I didn't make the costume I wanted to make. I didn't go and have the fun summer that I wanted. And before I know it, Christmas is going to be here. It's like I kind of get the feeling that you've been life kind of happens too quickly for you, and breaking it down into smaller pieces is gonna help you a lot. So the vision that I'm getting now, like just kind of asking for a clear understanding. Remember how I was saying I definitely feel like this is a physical thing. Let's say one of your goals is to kind of have a glow up. Maybe you've been wanting to lose some weight or kind of just like revamp your life and, get a new wardrobe, have a new style, like just have a rebirth, a renaissance, if you will. And I think breaking down healthy health habits, like this is not about like starving yourself to, be skin and bones. Like, please don't. This is not about any harmful actions. This is 100% about healthy. I feel like you're going to find something that is a creative way to lose weight. I always had to find fun ways to exercise. Like, going to the gym was just a nightmare to me. And I always wanted to be someone who looked at a gym and was like, yeah, I want to go there. I want to go on those machines and sweat. And like, I need to kind of be tricked into working out. So like hikes are okay because nature's pretty awesome. But very quickly, my lack of desire for intense working out will stop me. So what's coming to me over the next 6 months is that you're kind of reworking on your health, this glow up, transforming yourself. Kind of that thing of like, I just want to go away where no one can see me. I'm going to take a social media break. And then bam, in 6 months, I'm going to come back on and I'm going to post that selfie and people are going to be blown away. That's what I see. So it is a challenge because I really feel like you're overcoming a lot of, it's a lot to overcome to change ourselves. So yeah. Yeah, I feel like for a long time you've kind of been unsure of what was important to you. I feel like for a long time you've probably been pushing out like, oh, I don't really care about the way I look. That's just social media. And no one's saying you have to go become somebody you're not. This message is about becoming who you actually are. I think you've just taken an approach that maybe hasn't been... I see that the approach you've been taking for a long time, maybe like crash dieting or like over exercising or buying a bunch of clothes on credit, stuff like that. Like, I feel like you've done stuff and it just hasn't ever felt quite right. Like, going to the Goodwill is a great way to redo your wardrobe because truthfully, a lot of the clothes there are lightly worn, and a lot of the times you're going to find clothes that you're not going to find in stores right now because it may not be in fashion or, like new fashion. So I think that could be a new approach of how to come through this glow up. I do see, like, I want to remind you, you are overcoming this. You're going to find that patience to persist, because I think you're going to finally break this whole system down into a digestible, believable, attainable goal and plan. Seeking any sort of advice is always good, but go with what your gut says. Like, don't just listen to anybody. Make sure you're being discerning on the information you're getting. The self-confidence is coming through. And I'm so happy for you. This is a card of like feeling good, happy, and successful in your happy and successful in knowing yourself, and like seeing that you do know what you want and you do have that mental clarity. I think it's just been really important to kind of know where your strengths are. Go to the strengths that you've had your entire life that really helps you. Enthusiasm and things like that. So the next thing I wanted to know is how to make the best of the next 6 months. So when the Queen of Swords is in reverse, it's really indicating how much you need to not be thinking with your emotions. I get the feeling that anytime you've ever tried to approach this sort of goal, somehow, some way, you have talked yourself out of it. But what I'm actually kind of hearing more than that is it's actually a lot of the people around you that are I feel like it's the people you hang around that maybe aren't living the lifestyle that you're kind of wanting to go after. So the way it's this kind of energy of like, I'm kind of getting that you just need to kind of turn away from everybody right now, because this card in reverse actually is kind of cold, considered like literally like bitchy, cold-hearted, like turns their back on their friends, or more their friends turn their back on them. I'm kind of getting that energy that like maybe for once being unlikable is going to be helpful for you. Maybe you've been working on keeping the status quo, making sure people like you, and you liking yourself is what matters the most. So the Ace of Pentacles is actually suggesting doing something totally new. It literally says, like, do something that's out of character for you, which I think is kind of maybe seeming a little bit bitchy. Like, nobody wants to be seen that way. But let me tell you, the people who don't care at all what people think about them, they're going after their dreams and they're succeeding at them because they're not looking for validation from anybody on what they're doing. Validation from like their peers. Like, I do see that you should find somebody that's going to help you through what you're doing. So these two things, this is saying try something new and maybe try something that is out of character for you. And maybe if you've been just that nurturing, caring, kind friend to everybody for so long, it's time for you to be a kind, caring, nurturing friend to yourself. If you don't have physically active friends, you know, it may be hard to find these friends. So like sign up for a class, like a spin class or, you know, a dance class, pottery class. It doesn't have to be physically active. I am getting that energy, but whatever it is that you're really wanting to pursue, take a class and you'll meet a friend there. So, but lastly, I wanted to know, what are you walking away from in the next 6 months? What are you walking away? Walk away. Can't not sing that song ever. So the things that you are walking away from in the next 6 months is, I feel like you've had this fear of losing stability. That to me is definitely like the friends that you've built around you, or just the sort of the things you do that bring you like creature comforts that may not actually be good for you. Like maybe you eat ice cream every single day at the end of the day because it makes you feel good. Ice cream is fine, but every single day it's going to add up over time, and it's about removing unhealthy habits that are frequented. So you're going to kind of walk away from the things that you used for comfort. I think you're going to be more open to change. You're going to be more willing to see things from a different perspective. Like maybe you're finally like, okay, I guess I haven't been doing everything perfect and right. That's okay. I think you're walking away from perfectionism too. So like you're walking away from kind of needing that that validation. You're walking away from perfectionism, kind of that thought of like, well, if it's not going to be the best, then there's absolutely no point in doing it. And I'm telling you that that's incorrect. Because even if we're going to do something and do it wrong, it's going to teach you about who you are. It's going to help you. I think maybe you've been a little bit afraid of the hard work that is going to be required. Nobody loses weight and gets in shape and, you know, buffs up by going to sleep and wishing about it and just waking up the next day. This is a beautiful reading. Like, I absolutely love this pile. Like, you're transforming and you have the wherewithal to do it. That spark of inspiration's coming to you to be like, maybe all your friends and family get together every Sunday and you know, it's this big barbecue and everybody drinks, and it's just every Monday you find yourself hungover and feeling like crap, and every week you're like, I'm not going to do that this weekend because I want my Monday to start off right. You're going to figure it out, and the right people will support you. So don't fret that you're losing anybody, because you're gaining yourself. And that's always a win. But I wanted to know, I wanted to give you the opportunity to ask a pendulum a yes or no question. I have it on a whole like device mechanism, so I'm not actually the one like holding it or like touching it. Beep, 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 beep. All right. So I want you to go ahead and think of your question. Angels and spirit guides for pile 2, pile 2, pile 2. Pile 2's question. What is their answer? Mm-hmm. So it's a yes. I think it was a little bit more, slightly more lively than the first piles. The first pile was kind of like, yeah. This is a yes. Not a hyper enthusiastic, but also not like apathetic. So this is like, yes. Just, I feel like you wanted a yes or no answer. No emotional or frillies to it. The answer is yes. So pile 2, thank you so much for letting me channel your energy today. I greatly appreciate it. This was such an awesome reading. You have so much good luck coming towards you. You were given a super clear message of just like, do something new. And even if people think you're being a bitch because of it, so what? Start breaking down your plan. You know, have a goal for like 6 months from now on Halloween. You know, maybe that'll be like the first picture you post back on social media will be your Halloween outfit, and you're gonna just look amazing. So pile 2, thank you so much for being here. It was wonderful. If you liked this reading, there's a little thumbs up button that you can click, and that lets me know that this resonated with you. If you loved it though, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel and be a part of this journey. I'm rather new to it, but it has been extremely rewarding and fulfilling, and so I would just love to have you be a part of it. So I hope you all have a great day. Bye. Hi, Pile 3. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm really excited to deliver this message to you. It is from your future self about the next 6 months. So, you know, we always say if we could have a crystal ball and look into the future, what we would do with that. So that's what tarot's for. We're going to give a little bit of help and guidance and advice for what you can do in the next 6 months. So you chose the Amethyst Pendulum. Intuition and dreams, and if you don't own an amethyst crystal, definitely get one. They're like super, super common, but not any less powerful or important. So I wanted to know what the next, what the general theme for the next 6 months was. When I was pulling the rune for this one, I saw in my mind an angel wing. So when I pulled that out, I was like, well, that makes sense. So the thing. So the theme for the next 6 months: make a firm decision. Do your due diligence regarding contracts and legal disputes. If you are involved in a political situation at work, get to the heart of the matter and be flexible. Try diplomacy before resorting to harsher means. We call upon the gods to witness and to converse, to help us be wise, to speak with clarity, to be just, to be honorable, to make decisions with eyes fair to the future that will benefit kin, community, and those who are yet to walk upon this world. I'm going to read about the rune because I feel like that'll give me a better understanding of this message to you. Decos. Second to last. All right. Decos. Know that you are protected. Only positive energy flows your way. Expressing daily gratitude will create profound change. Have hope. Happiness is within your grasp, and the time for sorrow is over. Grief is necessary, but soon will diminish. Seek balance in all things. The darkness is complete until it is not. The black is no longer black, but blue, and then purple, then streaked with pink, orange, yellow, gold. Warmth, hope, happiness. All is changed. I am Degas. So the overall theme that I'm getting for pile 3 is, for starters, there's something that you kind of need to make a decision on. And it could be a few things because this card represents, it represents where in Viking culture they would come together and make agreements, marriages, contracts, but everything was done with a handshake. So there is something with a business matter coming up. It could be marriage. To some people, marriage is a business matter. But I feel like it's been a long time coming. And this rune talks about, the dawn of the new day. So I have a feeling the next 6 months is going to be geared towards making a big decision about something, a legal matter, business, something like that. But this is a start of something new, something you've been really looking forward to. With the amethyst crystal, I'm seeing that this is something that has come through your visions. This is something that when you close your eyes, you can see clear as day. So maybe it is a business that you've had in your mind for a long time and you know exactly what you want it to be. I see that the next 6 months is going to actually be about constructing this business. Something you've been really wanting for a long time. And so not only does this rune mean you are divinely protected, but with the angel wing, this vision, this thing you're going after is you have full support from the gods. So next I wanted to know, oh, that's right, you got literally like a fat chunk of cards. I wanted to know what is some unexpected good luck arriving in the next 6 months. So let's break this down. Maybe that's with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so you have more than even 6 cards. So I'm just going to go out one at a time. We're just going to lay these down and talk about them. So this card is representative of, well, the snake, first of all. It's you're shedding your skin. You're starting over. You are at the completion of something that you have and kind of working towards, and it's on to the next cycle. And so maybe that is you've been working really hard towards this point and you finally have the business idea down that you have been working towards for a long time. Like maybe you're finally able to quit that job and go full time at this new business. So that's pretty cool. You're going to recover from all the hard work that you've put in. In the next 6 months, you're going to see that this transformation is actually creating somebody who knows themselves like through and through. Like I'm getting this vision of somebody who has started many businesses or started all different kinds of jobs thinking like, well, maybe this is the one, maybe this is the one. And truthfully, it all led you to where you're at now. You know yourself. And because you know yourself, good and bad, you know where you'll be able to be successful in this business venture, in this goal you're going after. You've seen yourself in all situations, good. I think I just said that, in good and bad. But like you've seen your personality in all ways. You know yourself. Because if you don't know your shadow side, then you don't know yourself. You need to know what upsets you, what makes you sad, what makes you angry, what drives you. And you're getting that. I heard this phrase from Adam Ivy, and it was talking about luck. And he was saying that luck is 100% a part of succeeding in life. But he said that luck is the water that is overflowing in the bucket that you worked to fill. So I'm getting this energy that like you've filled this bucket and now it's overflowing with goodness. And that's because you put in that work. Yeah, you are going to have absolutely no problem identifying in the next 6 months what is not going to be good for you. Like, it's not hard for you to identify if this job is holding you back, if this relationship is holding you back, if you are holding you back. You're figuring that out, because with the 6 of Acorns, that's showing that like you're not only succeeding, but people see your success. So like I see somebody who's like quitting a job and it's like very like public in front of everybody. Like, I'm quitting because this job is crap, and you make a big splash. Yeah. You know yourself. So where else are we seeing good luck? So normally Knight of Feathers is, it's in reverse. It's like, your actions have consequences, but this is a good, this is good luck. So this is kind of saying that the actions you're going to be taking is going to reward you greatly, because it's not for nothing. You're not going to make this big splash and leave and it be like, wow, I did all that for nothing. Like, no, everything you're doing is it's for a purpose, and you're doing really good at it. You're getting those results. So on top of all of this, you're going to experience like a wave of patience that you had honestly only held your breath and hoped for. Like, I have a feeling you were kind of like, I'm just going to go into this and do the best I can. And you're doing it. And you're succeeding and feeling patient And which is good because you're going through a huge transformation right now. You're going after something that is very, very important. Everything that went down at these sites, because this is representative of a site where like official things go down. So like a courthouse in a sense, but this was out in the open. So it's that energy of like, this is something important to you that you've been working towards. And I feel like everyone finally sees it. Like your family finally understands what you're doing. And that's not why you're doing this. It's just going to be really helpful when you've been working really hard for a long time at this and maybe not been getting the results you've wanted. So you're really being inspired to kind of make this huge change so that whatever this is can succeed. All right. Like I said, you got a lot of good luck coming in, so let's keep going. Yeah, there's a whole new energy coming into your life. Like, I really feel like you are being highly affected by all the planetary changes right now. Like, yes, this is a timeless reading, but whatever time you're watching this, I'm sure you're being highly affected by the planets. So you're kind of coming into this new time, this new dawn of being, and you're getting that change of attitude, which is going to create all the willpower you need to complete this. You know, if you're needing to work up the energy to like quit your job, that's going to take that's going to take an attitude change. So, you're no longer going to be holding yourself back from the fear of failure, because life is hard whether you're going after your dreams or not. Wouldn't you just prefer then life to be hard while you're going after your dreams? I would. All right. I think you're going to be a little surprised by what is going to manifest from the whole situation. I think there's a hidden talent that is going to kind of come out during this time. Like, I feel like you've just kind of been in an atmosphere that wasn't really utilizing your skills and your genius. And I feel like you're figuring out like, hey, you know, I do this really well. I do this one thing particularly really well. I wonder if I could make a business out of it. Like, maybe you read tarot and you never thought you could be a professional tarot reader, but you have that gift. Trust that you can successfully read for people and make a living out of it. You know, maybe you've really learned your talent at this job that you've been at for a long time, and you actually see that they're not utilizing your skills to their advantage, to your advantage. And so I think you're kind of planning this this new adventure that you're about to have a go at. You're going to find this patience that you did not think you had before. The stroke of good luck is coming in when all this time and effort that you've been putting into things are manifesting. Like, you have a ton of cards here that talk about patience. So something tells me you have quite often fallen short of your goals because they took too long. And maybe that's why you ended up at this sort of job where, you were like, it's a paycheck. I know that they want me there on Monday and I get to leave on Friday and I have 2 days off. Like, it's kind of like that of you've for so long been going with what you just know was going to be there. Because I think you're kind of afraid of jumping. It's like the edge of a cliff and it's like nothing but clouds. You don't know what's down there. But what if you heard voices coming from down below those clouds and they were telling you, we got you. Hey, jump. There's a parachute down here. Like, that would be really hard to do, especially if you didn't like see someone next to you do it first and then like, okay, wait, listen. Okay, they landed safely. You're kind of getting this push from the universe right now that isn't gonna come. Nobody else is coming up because this is your opportunity. So you're kind of like looking to your left and looking to your right of like, is anybody gonna jump first and show me that somebody's down there? It's like, somebody's down there. You hear the voices. That voice is your intuition. That voice is what's coming from inside you saying, you have a dream, you have a passion, follow it. You are divinely protected and guided. The dawn is here. The sun is rising. The night is over. I think through this transformation of just kind of awakening to who you want to be, it's going to slowly start breaking down the walls of your reality. Like, once you wake up and see everything you've been doing has been leading you to a certain place, you're going to start seeing the job you have and the world you're living in right now not stand strong next to these visions you're having. You're actually learning to blend in and not fear as things are changing. As you're changing jobs or changing your life and changing yourself, you are so secure. It's terrifying to jump off that cliff, but you're hearing the voice below those clouds. You're hearing your intuitive voice say, you're not very happy at this job. You're not very happy at what you've been attempting. You have so much good luck coming in because you've worked so hard to fill up that bucket. The water is overflowing because you've been putting in effort. And I feel like at some point a few years ago, you had to kind of let go of your expectations for the future. And what's coming to me is that actually I don't know if you've heard, but like when you let go of your desire to control how things are manifested, they're going to come to you faster. It's kind of that energy of something that you were working for and towards for a really long time that you finally like kind of shrugged your shoulders and was like, whatever, just gonna give up on that. Not give up on it, but just not put your time and attention towards it. That's coming back around because you haven't been messing with the request. You haven't been constantly checking in with the universe, like, hey, how's that thing that I ordered? How's that coming in? Like, you didn't do any of that this time. Like, it's been, let's see. I'm trying to see the time frame. Like, this has been something, with the 10 of feathers, I'm really getting, it's like been 10 years. 10 years you've been going after something, or like 10 years ago you started going after something, and the universe is bringing that back to you, all that energy, and I think you're just going to kind of be surprised with it. Like, I think you're coming to a place where you're finally going to be able to do the thing that you've been wanting to do. So now that we have looked at how unbelievably lucky you are, we're just going to lay these down real quick, and then we're going to, I get so like, oh, where should I go? Where should I go? Oh, my apologies. There we go. What an awesome, like, talk about you found the 4-leaf clover, right? So. So next I asked, what is a challenge that you will have over the next 6 months? Pretty sure this came up first. So the message I'm getting of the Fool reversed is saying, honestly, and I'm going to directly connect it to the thing. It says, be careful to not be taken advantage of in something that you're starting, a new adventure. It's saying literally don't act the fool, because you are starting something very new. I see that. I see that you are starting something new that you are really excited about. And the challenge you're going to have is you're kind of going to be in the pink cloud a little bit of like, when people first start something really exciting like this, they are on this sort of high of like just excited and feeling like electric and, you know, vibrationally high. So your challenge is going to be making sure to act smart. Now, you have enough cards here to tell me that this isn't coming out of nowhere. This is something you've thought about for a while. But I do have a feeling that this is kind of, in the next 6 months, while you're excited and moving towards this, you may be acting a little bit, you know, naive in the way of like, don't trust everybody. Don't, you know, you may be like writing a book or a story or something like that, and want to share it with some random person, and then they end up stealing your story. Like, be very careful. Make sure you get your things copywritten and protected, because if you're a creative, then it's important to understand where you need to have rights and protect your art. And I think in a business dealing you might be having, just look at contracts extra closely. You know, really think through what people are trying to offer you and see where they're going to benefit from it, and if that is worth whatever you might not benefit from. So that's your challenge. Just keep an eye out, because I feel like you've gone through so much. Like, you've worked through so much of who you are, that I feel like what you're going into is kind of a whole new way of thinking. So you're kind of starting over where you were maybe really like smart and educated in one job. You might not have in this new thing. It's just a passion. and something you know you want to do. So, yeah. All right, next I asked how to make the best of the next 6 months. Knight of Pentacles reverse. Well, for starters, the Knight of Pentacles is saying to basically to avoid boredom, do things differently every time. This is Kathy. Kathy, of course. Always doing things differently every time. But for you, in the sake of how to make the best out of the next 6 months, do things differently every time. Be, explorative with whatever you're doing. If you're a writer, come up with new writing prompts. If you're an artist, paint things or draw things you've never done before. If you're, if you're into like getting physically active, like find a new sport or a new way of working out. Like you just want to make sure what you're doing is keeping you interested, because I think that's what drove you away from what you were doing and into the arms of your current lover, of following that dream. Now, there are some things. This does talk about relationships in several places. So I do want to play into that. Like maybe you've been interpreting everything I've been saying as a relationship and I just haven't touched on it yet. But you might be really bored with your current relationship and you might be ready to move on and grow and explore life with that. Like maybe you want to get married and they don't, and you kind of want to like try new things and they don't. So that's a small line. Maybe that'll ring true to somebody, but so the Five of Wands talks about how change is coming, and it's kind of important for you to be prepared for it. But it talks about keeping things, doing things differently as well. This is definitely the card that's saying, like, if you're training for like football, let's say you're running plays and you're running moves and practicing all these different things, so when it comes time to play the game, they all seamlessly work together. So that's kind of the message of what I'm getting is, over the next 6 months, change up what you're training, change up what you're working on. And I think you'll be very pleasantly surprised with the results. I feel like you've been kind of doing the same thing for a long time. It's been very mundane. Switch it up. If this is a relationship and you're wanting to work on the relationship, like maybe you're like, I don't want to break up, then just do new things together. Find something new. Even if it's something like you guys have never done puzzles together, like do a puzzle. If all you do is puzzles, then like go to a theme park and ride some rides. If you guys do that all the time, then maybe go to a pottery class together. I'm seeing that you need to find different ways to connect to what you're doing, whether it's a partner or a passion project. Don't let what your constant cycles in life, don't let those hold you back because you're worried about this thing that you love and want to do and go after. Maybe you've always been worried that you're just going to get bored with it. Singers sing the same song over and over again because they're playing to a different audience every time. So that could be something that like someone had to like really kind of come to terms with, of like, it's not about singing the same song. It's about singing it for those people as if it's the first time you've played it. Or like, you know, the play for them knowing that's the first time they hear it, not the first time you played it. That's not what I mean. But yeah, you're really you're trying to come through a situation that has not been really helping you grow. Just sort of that same office job, that same sort of, you know, partner who is not encouraging you to grow. Like, it's something that has just not been creating the life that you thought you were going to live. And I think you're kind of finally done not living the life you want to live. So you're getting all this inspiration and you're going to go do it and you're going to go after it. But you are getting a lot of just sort of like road signs of like, hey, slow down. You know, when speed reduction happens on the road, there's usually signage. And I'm kind of getting that of like, hey, slow down. Don't be so excited at some opportunity that you jump into a new relationship with somebody you shouldn't, or get a new job that you shouldn't, or trust somebody, like I said, like sharing a story that you wrote and all of a sudden realizing they stole it. You're just getting a really strong reminder from your angels and spirit guides, honestly. Like, it's your future self. It's your future self looking back and being like, hey, just so you know, I know what's happening over the next 6 months. Let me give you some warnings. And your angels and spirit guides are the ones that stand next to you the whole time. So, just switch it up. Do things differently. So last but not least, I wanted to know what are you walking away from in the next 6 months? Well, truthfully, I think this card represents, it's going to represent something different to everybody. This could represent like a really restrictive parent. This could represent a boss. It represents like the structure, like somebody who is super rigid, does not bend. Somebody who, if you didn't follow the rules, is extremely mad. Someone like that. You're walking away from this energy, and thank God. Like, I see this energy hidden behind every single one of these cards. Like, this card has been lurking. And now that I see it, I'm extremely confident that there is a job you have been in that just does not resonate with you. You've been in a relationship that no longer resonates with you. You've been, I think you've been kind of trying to get away from this energy for a while. And, like, with the Fool and stuff, like, it's saying, like, don't act too foolish. Because this energy tells me, like, you have been just kind of restricted for a really long time. And, you know, I have a feeling the spring has been pushed down too long and it's going to be released. And you just want to make sure you don't spring too far away. Don't move out of the house and all of a sudden start binge drinking because you didn't get to before, you know? Like, understand that you've had these rules and this structure for a reason. Change things up, do things new, but understand you have been taught the lessons for a reason. And so now you have learned them. You're ready to move on. You're ready to walk away from this energy. And that's really cool. Because it comes up in several places, but you're going through a transformation. Like, you're finally waking up and you're like, hey, you don't get to treat me like that. And And that's the truth, is you're coming to a place of clear thinking and your own truth and your own authority. You're gaining an understanding of who you are in a way you haven't before. I feel like 10 years ago, you knew what you wanted to do and it was so clear. And along the way, you kind of lost that vision. But every completed cycle brings you back, and you're back. With the 10 of Feathers, that really is the 10 of Swords. This is saying, like, you've completed, you've come to all the knowledge that you need to know. And now you are coming to understand yourself. Self-empowerment, ambition, and drive. And you have so many good cards here. I think your future self is just trying to warn you about this person. Warn you about this energy. You're going to be really excited in the new adventure that you're partaking in. So, just be a little bit secretive with what you're doing. Don't tell everyone everything. Yeah. Okay. I wanted to ask the pendulum, or I wanted to let you ask the pendulum a yes or no question. So I have it on a device, so I'm not actually holding it with my hand. Alrighty. Alright, angels and spirit guides for pile 3. They're asking their yes or no question. All right, this is a no. That is a clear, it's not like a strong no, like, oh hell no. It's a no of just, you wanted a clear and simple yes or no answer, and the answer is no. So, angels and spirit guides, thank you so much for being here for pile 3. Pile 3, thank you so much for letting me channel your energy. This was such a beautiful reading. I'm really excited for you in this transformation you're going through. You have so much luck. Nobody else had this many luck cards. You have so much luck coming in. You're walking away from this energy that's just like, ugh, gross. And just be aware that as you're starting out on this new adventure, just keep your eye out for people who want to take advantage of you. Because I have a feeling you have a really giving, generous spirit. And you just got to be careful. Not everybody wants good for you. So, but I do. I do, pile 3. I honestly cannot thank you enough for being here. But if you liked this reading, there's a little thumbs up button you can click. That lets me know that you resonated with the reading. And if you love it, I would just love for you to subscribe and be a part of this journey with me. I'm pretty new to the tarot reading journey for other people. So this has been really awesome. And I hope you want to join me as I continue to help guide you all. So thank you for being here and have a great day. Bye.